Now, I mean, the cannabis industry, you know, since the legalization recreationally in so many of our states here, it became somewhat of a taboo industry for minorities. It's not, you know, it seems like they kind of trying to block us out of it.
Right.
How did you manage to break through that, you know, the yellow tape and get in there?
Well, man, first, I mean, I gotta be always honest, bro. I had resources. I had my own money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do it.
I put up $2 million on my own money before I took a dollar from anybody.
Yeah.
And I definitely had, you know, some of my teammates in the locker room wanting to invest.
Right.
But you know, I didn't take their money because I wasn't absolutely sure what I was doing.
Right.
So I didn't want to lose relationships and, you know what I'm
That's
saying, over, you know, failing at a business opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I put up my own bread, bro. And, you know, that was obviously the difference between me. But at the end of the day, what's up in the industry is like, it's a cash business. You can't go to the bank. You can't get loans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to know somebody that got the money to actually, you know, loan it to you, invest or whatever for you to participate. Every other business, you can go to the bank and get a loan. You can get a lien on it.
Not many for black people.
Exactly. But, you know, but
don't do that much for us. We don't usually have to put our own money up to in whatever industry we in.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, you know, at least the banking is around for some industries.
This
like,
true.
It's zero.
This is true.
In cannabis.
I mean, at least, you know, you can secure your funds, and you know what I mean. They won't even let you do a safe deposit box in a bank, would they?
No, not with cannabis.
Not with cannabis.
Now if they know cannabis is affiliated with it, you can't get the safety deposit box.
Ain't that some shit? That's horrible. So they basically want to leave you out to dry to get robbed.
And that's a whole nother step. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What the fuck?
Right. It's all.
So
it's
you
all
can't get a bank account so Viola, as big as a brand you are, you can't have a bank account.
Well, now we have bank accounts. So when I first started, hell no, it wasn't even an option.
Got it.
Now, with all our big banks, the Bank of Americas and all them, they don't touch cannabis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you have to do it through credit unions. That's the only way you can get some type of banking. But even when you use them, it's expensive. Like shit, like anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, you have to pay the bank a month just to
hold your money.
Just to hold your money.
Are you serious,
bro? Then in Colorado, it was so crazy. At one point, it was like every $20,000 you put in the bank, they charge you a percentage of that to hold your money.
They charging you money to put money in the bank.
In they bank.
Man, that's a cold game.
It's a cold game, bro.
Damn.
It's a cold game.
Listen, I'm just put this out there, all right? Y'all can judge me. Some of y'all might unfollow me after this, okay? Some of y'all might look at me in a different light. I fucking love weed.
Smoke weed every day.
I'm a pothead. Smoking, edibles, the pen's okay. Okay, I fit the bong, right? I am a fucking pothead, all right? I love THC. I love CBD. I am all in on this shit, right? What the crazy part about it is I didn't smoke till I was 30. I'm 36 now. I didn't smoke for the first time till I was 30. Just really didn't want nothing to do with it. It wasn't legal when I was younger. Didn't want to get caught up with it. Just didn't make sense to take that risk. But nigga, I fucking love weed. And I know eventually down the line, I'm going to have my own strain. I'm going to have my own brand. It's going to happen. But the reason I ain't done none of that shit yet is because a lot of stuff that Al Harrington's talking about right here. Shout out to Al Harrington. Shout out his brother Harvey. I went to high school with him. Harvey's really good dude. He got his own podcast called the Dream Chasers Podcast. Go check out Harvey Harrington Dream Chasers Podcast. Go type that into Google. Really good dude. And shout out to T.I. So, you know, I love weed. So I'm going to talk about the stuff that's going on with weed and what we should be doing. Should we be investing in all this stuff to kind of give y'all what I'm thinking as a potential weed entrepreneur and why I'm holding off right now. Stay locked in.
My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond.
My name is Dorian from Group82Music.com, a self-proclaimed pothead. And right here, we got Al Harrington talking about the weed business, the cannabis business, everything that's going on with it. Did you hear what this man said? Couldn't get bank accounts. You still can't get major bank accounts at major banks with something that's legal in almost half the states now. You got to go through credit unions. And then he said in Colorado at one time, every $20,000 you made, they were charging you a fee to keep your money in there. all this stuff is going on right now because it's still taboo and it's still really, really early. This is why I'm not so quick to invest in shit early on, right? Like Bitcoin. I heard about Bitcoin 4 or 5 years ago. Everybody kept talking about Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, Bitcoin this. And I started studying, I started researching, started looking it up. I'm like, okay, so I buy this currency, but I can't really spend that currency like that except certain places. And I have to convert it back to money in order to spend it. It doesn't really make any sense. It's like the stock market, man. It's like the stock market. It's not really like the stock market because stocks are backed by companies. I can see who the CEO is. I can see the PE ratio. I can see the dividend yield. I can see the earnings reports, SEC. So all this stuff that goes to, it's not like the stock market. Okay, Bitcoin's its own shit. And you need to invest in this shit, Forex, all this other shit too. But crypto, definitely Bitcoin. Like, I ain't fucking with that, right? I missed the Bitcoin waves. It's 50K right now. All y'all that got it early, congratulations to y'all. Get your money. Hope it protects your family. I'm with it. I don't have no problem with that, right? Because Bitcoin could drop to zero tomorrow and all that shit could be gone. And America wouldn't give a fuck about it right now. It's still extremely risky. It's the same thing with the weed business right now. I'm somebody that loves weed. A lot of people I know love weed. Denver's a great place to get weed. Vegas, great place to get weed. LA, great place to get weed. Every election, we're seeing more and more states legalize it, but it's still very early right now. You still gotta sneak this, gotta do this, can't have a bank account, gotta make sure this on the up and up, can only have this amount. When you go into the dispensaries, they taking your ID, putting it in the system, and it's still a lot of shit. Still a lot of shit. And for me, I don't like putting my money into shit like that just so I can be first to market. Was Facebook first to market? No. Was iPhone the first phone to market? No. Was Google the first search engine? No. You ain't gotta be first. You gotta execute the best. So I'm sitting back right now and I'm looking. I'm paying attention. Viola, hey, I'd love to get some of that shit. Probably can if I wanted to, but I would love to get some of that shit. Wiz got KK, Tyson got his Tyson Ranch. I'm seeing a lot of great weed and cannabis entrepreneurs right now. But me, I'm holding off on that shit. I am going to be a first generation millionaire in my family. I can't take no risks like that. My daughter, she can be able to take risk and invest in some new weed they gonna have 30 years from now because she'll have money. I can't play with our money like that. I'm putting my money in investments that I know I'm gonna get a return. What investments get me a return? Group 82 gets me a return. Stock market gets me a return. My music gets me a return. My book sales gets me a return. YouTube money gets me a return. Instagram, time I put in that, gets me a return. All these things will give me a return. Why would I risk that money when still a lot of shit ain't on the up and up with it yet? And I know eventually cannabis will be on the up and up everywhere. And I know some people gonna be in the comments, you're missing out. Okay, if you're a cannabis entrepreneur and you can put proof on your page, on your Instagram page, how much money you're consistently making and how you're making the money, and you can walk us through exactly how you're doing it, I'll bring you onto my podcast, 82 Points of View with Dorian. But if you ain't one of them people that's actually doing that, and you just investing in cannabis ETFs and cannabis stocks, another way you can invest in the cannabis market and not really take a whole lot of risk, right? Which is something that I've done a little bit of. But if you're just a person that's just in the comments talking shit and you ain't putting no money up, don't nobody want to hear what the fuck you got to say. We listen to Al Harrington because listen to what this man said. He didn't even go take his teammates' money because he knew this was uncharted territory. This is a man of integrity. This is a man of morals. He put his own money up. So we want to hear everything he got to say. We won't want to hear nothing you got to say because your pussy ass can't put $1,000 into it. But if you are somebody who has put money up, if you are for real cannabis entrepreneur, and you can really break down how you're making money, and you can show proof, hey man, write that in the comments, let us know so we can bring you on the podcast, 82 Points of View with Dorian. If you know anybody that's doing this, tag them. Tag them in the comments, we can bring them on. So appreciate Tip for the clip. Appreciate Al Harrington. Appreciate you, Harvey. If y'all need more help, send up your brand or talking about investments, whatever it is you want to do. You on Instagram, click the link up top. You on YouTube, click the link in the box. I'm out the pod. Y'all stay true.
Rotate, 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 rotate. Group82music.com.